Hello, everybody. Welcome to cricketworld.com. We are back with our match insights video here to review the first day's play in the fifth and final test match between England and India being played at the Oval in London. As always, I've got my friend and colleague Nikhil Narayan to look back at what happened on the first day's play. Nikhil, tough to pick who is feeling better at the end of the first day's play because there was a bit of a rain around and only 64 overs of play possible on the first day. Who do you think is feeling better?
I think England did not bowl well, Chandresh. England definitely did not bowl well. They won the toss. They elected to field first. The conditions were in favor. India 204 for 6. England were lucky to get a couple of wickets. Uh, India did not play badly, but some unfortunate events like the run out of Shubman Gill. Overall, I would say England is slightly ahead at the end of day one. Maybe if it was 204 for 5, I would have said 50-50. But England slightly ahead. But this is the toughest batting pitch in the series. And if India can cross 250, 260 with this partnership, I think India is right back into the contest, Chandresh.
Yeah, let's start at the beginning because India once again lost the toss and they were asked to bat in tough conditions. And India made four changes to their lineup. And surprisingly, they went in with an extra batter in Karun Nair in place of Shardul Thakur. As expected, Rishabh Pant was replaced by Dhruv Jurel, and Jasprit Bumrah missed out, and we had two fast bowlers, fresh fast bowlers, Prasidh Krishna and Akash Deep coming in, but still no Kuldeep Yadav.
Yes, so I was a bit surprised actually the team selection, and clearly they're looking at the conditions which were prevailing in London at the Oval before taking that call. Kuldeep Yadav was almost certain to play this test. The Oval, as we had discussed in our preview, Chandresh, is the most conducive spin bowling venue in England in the last 5 years. However, the first class results, the last 5 to 10 matches, the results were overwhelmingly in favors of the fast bowlers. So they've gone with local conditions prevailing. India. In hindsight, Karun Nair has done well, but I still think India will miss Kuldeep Yadav. They should have found a way to slot in Kuldeep Yadav, given that they're 1-2 behind and they need to do all the chasing to make it 2 all. I wasn't too surprised with the Prasidh Krishna, coming into the side because Prasidh Krishna, gets extra bounce, hit the deck bowler, and Oval is out, offering extra bounce. So I think, Prasidh Krishna getting another opportunity wasn't that surprising, Chandresh.
Yeah, and there was a bit of a overcast conditions, and Gus Atkinson struck almost immediately in his comeback test match, dismissing Yashasvi Jaiswal, who once again we found that his feet doesn't move. And then against the run of play, KL Rahul chopped one on and was dismissed, leaving India in a bit of a precarious situation. It was going well for India, and then the skipper Shubman Gill committed harakiri, much like what Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul did at Lords. That was a game-changing run out. How big a moment is this going to be in this Test match?
A huge moment because a run out, unnecessarily run. Clearly, he misjudged. He did not play the ball straight. He did not play the ball wide enough. It was too straight to attempt a run. There was no run there, and Gill, uh, you know, uh, just gifted his wicket away to England. The most prized opposition wickets, 700 plus record runs in the series. That was potentially the changing turning point, of the match. But if you mentioned Jaiswal, Chandresh, just a word on Jaiswal. He has a problem against genuine pace. If you see his numbers against genuine pace in Test cricket, he averages 77 against spin, but just 36 against pace. For a top quality batter, his numbers are going down against pace, which is a cause of concern for the left hand. I think he has to work around that. And you mentioned KL Rahul, and I think the ball was too close to cut. So that was, I think England had, frustrated India between overs 10 and 15, just conceded 7 runs in 6 overs, and therefore he wanted, to break free. The ball was not there for a cut, a bit of inner movement. The ball came back in and he chopped it onto his stump. So, but Shubman Gill's wicket, potentially it was a turning point, run out, and absolutely, a waste of a dismissal for India.
Yeah, there was a long rain break, and finally play started around an hour after lunch. And at that time, it felt like Sai Sudarshan was taking India to some kind of safety in the company of Karun Nair. But he got a beauty of a delivery from Josh Tongue. And we also saw Tongue producing a similar delivery for Ravindra Jadeja. So two wickets back to back. And at that stage, it was a bit of a spot of bother for India. But do you think that Dhruv Jurel should have been a lot more careful in the shot selection that he had, because he had been uh, given a reprieve or delivery before? The shot that he played, trying to play that kind of a uppercut kind of a shot over the slips region, was that warranted?
I mean, given the situation, it was not. Given that he had, as you mentioned, given a reprieve of the previous delivery, he could have let the ball go. But then also he was looking at a boundary, so you can't sort of really fault him. But yeah, maybe the shot was avoidable at that stage, given India's top order had already departed to the pavilion. A little bit of old school attritional cricket was needed, and Dhruv Jurel is known to play that. A little bit disappointing from Dhruv Jurel at that point. You mentioned Josh Tongue. England's bowling on the first day, Chandresh, overall was a complete mixed bag. I don't think they exploited the condition well at all. Josh Tongue was completely wavered, bowling down the leg side, wides to the boundary. But he produced in his entire spell, I think, five or six good deliveries, and two of them were absolute jaffers. One to Sudarshan, one to Jadeja, the two left-handers, which got him a wicket. So luck was with him. He did. I mean, I thought 80% of his bowling was very, very ordinary for Josh Tongue. Similarly for Jamie Overton, who went for 66 or 16 overs, very ordinary. I think the bowler who stood out was Gus Atkinson. He was absolutely brilliant, relentless with a 9 in length. And obviously he picked two wickets for 31 runs of 19 overs. He was the standout bowler for me, Chandresh.
Yeah, and then we had the sight of Karun Nair holding the innings together, hard fought half century, and towards the end of the day, an unbeaten half century partnership for the seventh wicket with Washington Sundar. That partnership gave India some kind of respectability, but great for Karun Nair that he was given one more opportunity, and he came good. So he's at least secured himself one more series against West Indies.
Yes, absolutely. Karun Nair, finally made it count in what were the toughest conditions during the entire series. Day one of this Oval Test was by far the toughest batting, conditions in the entire series. And Karun Nair scored a very important half century. If not for his century, a half century, India would have been bowled out for less than 150. So, I think, yes, you're right. He secured maybe his place in the middle order for the home series against the West Indies. Uh, I think this partnership with Washington Sundar Chandresh is extremely crucial, as we mentioned that if they can take it to beyond 250, 260, then India are right back into the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. But towards the end of the day, there was a bit of a bad news for England. Chris Wokes doing damage to his shoulder while fielding. It looks like he's not going to play any part in this test match any further, either with the bat or with the ball. It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult. I don't think he will definitely bowl in this test match. And this whole debate about replacing players with such bad injuries. His own captain Ben Stokes is strictly against it. I mean, while Gautam Gambhir was propagating that for bad injuries during the field of play, one can have substitutes. But Ben Stokes is completely against it. This was a perfect case for that. This is but I don't think it will happen in the foreseeable future. But yes, Chris Woakes not playing. He was a second best bowler on display for England on day one. It will be a big blow for them.
Absolutely. So, how do you see the second day's play progressing?
I think if Washington Sundar and Karun Nair can take the score post 270, I think India are right back into the contest, may even have an edge if the conditions remain the same. And that is a big if. If the conditions remain the same as they were on day one, cloudy, overcast, lots of movement, even after 50 overs, with Akashdeep, and company, Siraj, I think India can dismiss England for a score less than 230, 240. But the conditions should remain the same. So that is a big if.
So let's see what happens on the second day. We'll be back again to review the second day's play. All you need to do is log on to cricketworld.com, like, share, subscribe, and comment on these videos and be part of the conversation that Nikhil and I are having right through this India tour of England. That's it for now. We'll be back soon. Till then, it's goodbye and God bless from both Nikhil and myself. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.